Yazoo Malaka. Welcome to the Malaka podcast. Let's go to the movies. Part 3. Ghostbusters-Frozen Empire.
Your return was teased at the end of the last film, but what was it like being fully back into the Ghostbusters franchise?
It was very satisfying as an artist and an actor to be asked to come and play this role again, and to have a concept that we all originated way back when be embraced by everybody. I feel flattered, I feel grateful, I feel exhilarated tonight because we've melded the original Ghostbusters with the new cast in an organic, honest way that people are going to love.
What was the first thought that you had when you saw yourself back in the suit?
I thought that I was very happy that Taylor made the alteration so it would fit me. Very happy that it looked the same to me, but of course it wasn't.
You rocked it. You rocked it for sure. And finally, I want to say the ending of the last movie really got me emotional with all 4 Ghostbusters reunited. What was that like watching that back on the big screen for the first time and seeing Harold up there?
I loved Harold, and the way they did that effect was so moving and emotional. Truly, we were feeling it as actors that afternoon when we shot that. We were feeling his absence. Yeah.
And what are you hoping for the future of the franchise moving forward?
I hope this young cast stays with us and wants to do a few more of them. And we've all got ideas for stories, so we'll just have to see how Frozen Empire does out there at the box office.
Staying in New York, a new location maybe for the next one?
We like New York, but it's not to say that we couldn't make New York the base and travel off somewhere else. But hey, there are ghosts around the world, so.
Canada, 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 Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can't tell already how much I absolutely love Ghostbusters and the franchise, most of it, but we'll get into the what happened in 2016 a little bit. The point is, Ghostbusters means everything to me. And yes, judging by the title, Frozen Empire, I would assume that, it would have taken place in Canada, but it didn't. It took place in New York. It's where it all started. I respect that. And of course, I had to see this movie. I have to. If you're a Ghostbuster lover, you have to. I mean, they got a whole new cast. I mean, the last one a few years ago was successful enough that they made another one. It's awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, okay? That's French, just like Dan Aykroyd is. I'd like to go to Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, and give you a little information about this new movie coming out. Why is it free? Because Wikipedia is awesome. Sure, sometimes they get a little thing, off here and there. And, listen, I make mistakes too. I mean, I did a podcast about Johnny Depp a few years ago, and I literally just found out a few days ago that he's legally blind in one eye. Yes, let me repeat that. Johnny Depp is legally blind in one eye. I believe it's the left eye. I'm just assuming this is true. I mean, it's something I Googled. I mean, why would Google lie to me? I don't know how he became blind, but I'll just say this. I mean, when you date a cunt like Amber Heard and she tries to sue you, and before that she shits in your bed. If you get a little fecal matter in your eye, it could lead to other shit. So, just saying. Let's begin. Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire. Let me just talk about that title just for a second, okay? Because of course I'm going to review the movie later, but let me just get, Ghostbusters, obviously they can't call it Ghostbusters 2. They've already done that. Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire. It doesn't sound that good. I'll be honest with you. Like when I first heard the title, it did throw me off. I mean, I loved, the couple trailers I saw. I thought they were pretty good. So, but the title, I don't know. It's just me. It doesn't sound right. I mean, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. How about I was just thinking Ghostbusters Frozen World. But obviously it was just New York that got frozen, I'm assuming that. I mean, like was it more than New York? I mean, did it spread into Boston or Philly? God forbid anything happens to those Eagle fans. But whatever, teach his own. But anyways, is a 2024 American supernatural comedy film directed by Gil Kenyon from a screenplay he co-wrote with Jason Reitman. It is the sequel to Ghostbusters Aftermath and the 5th film in the Ghostbusters franchise. Let's be honest with each other. It's really the 4th. But anyways, whatever. The film stars Paul Rudd, Carrie Coon, Finn Wolfhard, McKenna Grace, Celeste O'Connor, and Logan Kim reprising their roles from Afterlife. Alongside, did I say Aftermath or Afterlife? Sorry, I don't know. I heard Eminem's coming out with a new album. Listen, white kids like me, we grew up on this shit. I'm just excited. Alongside Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, Annie Potts, and William Atherton reprising their characters from the earlier films. Kumali Nanjiani, I know I fucked that up. Patton Oswalt, Emily Allen Lind, and James Acaster also join the cast. Set 2 years after the events of Afterlife, the veteran Ghostbusters must join forces with their new recruits to save the world in New York from a death-chilling god who seeks to build a spectral army. Why does it sound familiar?
Okay? You could take half of the living room is worth more than that. So it's worth anywhere from 50 to 100 times that amount. And he stays with it. So he's either whacked out or dishonest, one or the other, or both, probably both. But he's a disgrace to the system. And I think that New York State was helped a lot today by the decision. I'll give you an example. Truth Social is doing very well. It's hot as a pistol and doing great.
Hot as a pistol. I mean, he's basically describing himself, right? The whole disgrace thing. I mean, Frozen Orange Empire could happen again in 2024. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, it's a very scary world. Do you believe in ghosts? I do. I know Dan Aykroyd does. Do you believe in Malakas?
He made Mar-a-Lago into $18 million. I had many offers. They said, I'll give you 19. Okay? You could take half of the living room is worth more than that.
Mar-a-Lago. Mar-a-Lago. Following the success of Afterlife, Sony Pictures announced the sequel in April 2022, with Reitman returning as director. Co-writer and executive producer Kennan later took over as director Reitman that December, with the latter staying on as a co-writer and co-producer. That same month, Rudd, Kuhn, Grace, Wolfhard, O'Connor, Kim, Murray, Aykroyd, Hudson, Potts, and Atherton were all confirmed to reprise their roles. New cast members, including Nanjiani, it sounded better the second time, Oswald, Lynn, and Caster were announced in March 2023, with principal photography commencing that month and wrapping in June. Dario Marianelli, I'm half Italian, I can't fuck that up, was hired to compose and conduct the film's score, replacing Afterlife composer Rob Simonson. This is the first film in the Ghostbusters franchise to be released following the death of the franchise co-creator and Jason Reitman's father, Ivan Reitman. Now, at the end of the movie, I was going to say this to the end, but at the end of the movie, they put for Ivan, obviously for Ivan Reitman, rest in peace, who posthumously receives credit as a producer alongside his son and Jason Blumenfeld. Additionally, the film is dedicated to Ivan's memory and celebrates the 40th anniversary of the first film. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been 40 years since the last one. 40 years. How crazy is that? They've come an absolute long way. It's been awesome. You know, cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria. It's been fucking awesome. Ghostbusters-Frozen Empire had its world premiere at the AMC 13 Theater at Lincoln Square in New York City on March 14th, 2024, and was released in the United States on March 22nd by Sony Pictures, releasing under its Columbia Pictures label. The film received mixed reviews from critics. How dare you? How dare you? Oh, mixed reviews. Oh, boy. You can't fucking please everybody. Listen, I saw this movie, ladies and gentlemen. I thought it was awesome. Okay, I don't give a shit what anybody says. All right, okay. Let's get a little description here from Mr. IMDb here. Not Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, we don't see how fresh something is. Just shut up. When the discovery of an ancient artifact unleashes an evil force, Ghostbusters, new and old, must join forces to protect their home and save the world from a second ice age. Okay. So again, when I said frozen world, I mean it. Hey, I'm sure that idea was thrown around. I don't know. I'm just saying, you know, what sounds better? Ghostbusters Frozen World, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Now I did put a little emphasis on Empire. I will admit that, but I don't know. It sounds better. But the point is, ladies and gentlemen, I thought overall it was a good movie. Okay. Do I feel it was as good as the last one? No, I don't. But that's not to say it was not still, if this is a proper conjugated sentence, still a good movie. I liked it. All right? Okay? If you're a true Ghostbuster fan like me, it will scratch that itch. Okay? Could be Slimer. You don't know that. And yes, Slimer does come back. Of course he does. Of course he does. He has to. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I went to the theaters to see this, like I said before. And speaking of Slimer, they had these cool, like, buckets. It wasn't even a bucket. I mean, you see online, it looks like a plastic kind of statue. You can put popcorn in there. I mean, to fill it up with popcorn, they give you, let's be honest. I mean, this popcorn probably cost them like maybe 13 cents tops, but to buy it with popcorn, this big ass thing, I mean, it would have cost $30. I was like, fuck that. I'm not, listen, I love you, Slimer. I really do, aka Onion Head. We all know that was supposed to represent John Belushi there, but rest in peace. But yeah, $30, man. That's way too much for plastic. I'm sorry. Okay, and I'm also sorry that I found out Gordon Lightfoot. I mean, he's passed away just a little while ago. Rest in peace to him too. That the song "Sundown" is actually about the cunt who killed John Belushi. Yes, you will never listen to that song the same again. I'm going to repeat that again, ladies and gentlemen. The song Sundown by Gordon Lightfoot is about the Malaka who killed John Belushi. Yes, apparently she sold a lot of drugs to people and I guess would hang out with Gordon Lightfoot. And, I always thought of... it was about a woman, visiting the back porch there, sundown, you better take care, creeping around my back stairs. Apparently she was coming in the back way, so nobody would see the drugs coming in. So, yeah, and he was inspired to write a song, which I think it came out in 1974, about that bitch. So, yeah, listen. I don't mean to destroy lives. I mean, I'm never going to look at the song again the same either. But the point is, that's fucked up, man. But anyways, the point is, this movie is it's a good movie. I liked it. Okay, like I said before, you got Paul Rudd reprising his role. Okay, he's he seems to be the new face of the franchise, I guess. I mean, if he doesn't play Dan Aykroyd's kid, but I believe it, I mean, Paul Rudd doesn't seem to age, I mean, they did kind of airbrush the shit out of that one magazine where he got the world's sexiest man or something. Isn't he married? That's one thing I never understood, ladies and gentlemen. Like, when you're the sexiest man, like, what's the point of being branded that if you're married? I mean, it's like having, superpowers and you can't use them. I mean, again, it's just weird. I never understood it. Never understood it. Nick Nolte, he was also sexiest man. Listen, we all age differently. Okay. I'm pretty sure, in 10 years, I'm going to look like Slimer. But the point is, Paul Rudd's cool. I did a whole podcast about him. Maybe it ran a little long because I was talking about a Saturday Night Live episode, that, got semi-canceled by COVID. And, you guys heard about COVID, right? I mean, we're pretty much sick and tired of this shit, right? But it's still out there, Ghoster is still out there. COVID's still out there. SARS is still out there, I actually remember when Dan Aykroyd showed up in an episode in Saturday Night Live at the time when SARS came out, and they're doing some sketch where he got some random letter, and then he opened the letter, and all this powder came out, and he went in his face, and but Aykroyd is always down for the cause. We all know that. He's a cool motherfucker. I got to do a podcast about him one day, but yeah, Paul Rudd's cool. That's all I'm trying to say here. Carrie Coon, she's back in there. She's awesome. Finn Wolfhard. Well, listen, with a name like that, I think I've said this before, but I'll say it again. You got to be an actor or porn. So, whatever. If you look like Steve Tyler's kid, I mean, you'll probably be all right in life. Yeah, so, we all know him from Stranger Things. I thought it was funny. There's a point in the movie where he said, "Oh man, I'm 18." I'm like, "Bro, you look 30." Okay, I think you and little Yachty keep lying about your ages, but the point is, you guys got to get done that one last season of Stranger Things, okay? Or else it's just gonna look strange. I mean, you guys all looking like 40. McKenna Grace, she's in there. Kumail, is it Kumail? Kumal. But there's an I in there. It's got to be Kumail, right? Does anyone else believe that picture of him all ripped and shit is not real? I when it first came out, I thought it was like a joke or something. But apparently, yeah, I don't know, started taking his vitamins, I guess. But okay, whatever. Nagiani, there you go. I think I got it right this time. Patton Oswalt, we all love him. He did that one movie with Charlize Theron. Theron? Yeah. It's a good little movie. Yeah, representing for the geeks out there. I like it. He's funny in King of Queens, too. Leslie O'Connor. She's back. Logan Kim. He's back. Emily Allen Lind is Melanie. Now, she's like this kind of ghost character that's in the movie. Is she good? Is she bad? Who the fuck knows? She's a ghost. Can't trust a ghost. James Askaster. He plays like this kind of scientist or whatever. He's kind of like the British version or Irish, whatever, of, kind of like like an Egon kind of, sort of. It works. It's fine. But of course, you got to put Bill Murray in there. Of course. Bill Murray, he's the man. Dan Aykroyd, he's the man. Ernie Hudson. Ernie Hudson, I believe, is 79 years old. Let me repeat that again, ladies and gentlemen. I believe Ernie Hudson is 79 years old. He looks like he can beat the shit out of anybody. And yes, he has seen some shit that'll turn you white. Okay? But still, 79. Fuck, that's crazy. Annie Potts is in it, of course. William Atherton, okay, who, I mean, I will know this guy forever for two things: Ghostbusters and Die Hard, okay? This guy is so good at being a prick. He's so good at being a dick that I heard a story that one time he was at a bar and some people beat the shit out of him for real because they didn't like the character he portrayed in Ghostbusters. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's a fucking movie, okay? I'm sure, you know, despite being a redhead, I'm sure he's probably a nice guy. You know, I don't think he deserved that. You know, that's just fucking crazy. But then again, I mean, maybe you can take that as a compliment because you're such a good actor that people just want to beat the shit out of you. You know, it's like the warden in Shawshank Redemption. I mean, that guy plays a dick in everything. But anyways, when you have no hair, it's easier to be a bad guy. Anyways, Shelley Williams, she's in it. Chris Tummings, John Rothman, who was the library administrator in the first movie, comes back for a little cameo in this one. Ladies and gentlemen, we got ourselves an official Ghostbuster movie. I mean, we got everything we need, you know? So I'm there, you know, we're, you know, having a good time, everybody there. But then I remembered we went to an early show on a Sunday at 1 o'clock, and I'm like, oh, fuck. You know, I totally forgot it's the weekend. I just assumed most kids were going to see Kung Fu Panda 4. You know, I love Jack Black. I'll catch someone later, don't worry. You know, but I mean, these kids, like, they would not shut the fuck up. I'm telling you, like even during the movie, you know, like something happened in the movie and then you hear a kid in the background, oh, he shouldn't have done that. I'm like, shut the fuck up, okay? I get it. You got to take your kids and I don't know. One person came in there with like 10 kids. I'm like you know, it's like fucking Octomom and well, plus 2, I guess. And I don't know. Hopefully the husband is more faithful. But anyways, you know, I'm like, what did this cost you? You know what I mean? You got to figure at least like, you know, 15 a ticket, whatever, times, you know, 10, and then you got, and then they all had their little thing of popcorn, you know, which it probably cost like, I don't know, $12, and you know, it adds up. It adds up. All I'm saying is, it's expensive to go to the movies these days. I still miss going to the movies and seeing, you know, a movie like this, especially a movie that's been part of my childhood for years, on the big screen. I have to, okay? But I'm telling you, you fucking kids, you know, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, you gotta shut up, okay? And parents, I blame you more because, you know, I'm sure you're used to this, you know, white noise, but I'm not, okay? I chose not to have kids. Maybe there's one in Scarborough, who knows? But the point is, you know, until that person comes knocking at my door, you know, I'm good. Okay, I like silence. Yep, that's the stuff right there, right there. Okay, but anyways, sitting there, chilling, having a good time, and then all of a sudden the movie starts, and I'm like, oh, this is it. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, 40 years ago, I was able to enjoy the first movie, but I was only 2 back then, so I didn't see it in theaters. I saw the second one in theaters. It was okay. You know, it was okay. And but we had it on VHS, and I'm telling you, I'm, you know, again, these kids don't understand the struggle. They don't understand what VHS is, okay? You put this big brick into another big brick, and then it plays with not even, how can I put this so like a millennial will understand? You know, when your older brother like introduced you to the internet when you were 5, and like video looked all right, you know, and it was maybe if you were lucky, like 480p quality, okay? I still don't understand what that means, but I think it's something to do with a little below DVD. The point is, it looked like shit. Okay, I played this shit over and over and over again. We all know what happens to the film when you play it over and over and over again. It's just horrible. And my parents gave me some kind of version that they taped, on TV, and it had commercials, and then you had to fast forward. And listen, I don't have time to explain what fast forwarding is, but the point is, it was a struggle back then. It really was. It was. Okay. First world problems. You can't say that anymore. Go fuck yourself. I grew up in the 90s. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, I love this movie so much, and I was looking forward to seeing another one. Okay? Okay. Now, watching the movie, they gave some kind of little intro. I mean, they went back like, I don't know, like I think it was 1904 or something like that. I don't remember, back when, it was still, I think it was still a firehouse. I don't know, I forgot. But the point is, they went back in time, and then they saw they had this problem before, with this ice creature or whatever. And speaking of the title again, originally they, according to IMDb here, it's way more accurate than Rotten Tomatoes, I assume. They said originally they wanted to name the movie Firehouse. So Ghostbusters Firehouse, after the Ghostbusters Firehouse, which makes sense, I guess. But, I still like my title better, Frozen World. Just saying. But yeah, so it starts off with that little intro, gets you into it, and then you see the Ghostbuster car going. They're all in the car there, shooting at the ghost and whatever. And okay, it's a good little action scene, whatever. Well, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I haven't given that much away, but spoilers ahead. Okay, that's I'm trying to speak to the millennials here, or the generation that's before that, and oh God, I mean that generation basically comes out of a vagina with an iPhone. But anyways, I gotta say, it's a really good movie. I mean, like I said, it's got the original cast. It deals with of course, the firehouse. They're getting a lot of shit. Slimer's introduced. Aykroyd and Ernie Hudson have more of a bigger role in this movie as well. The one girl here, who's Egon's relative there, she is too young to be a Ghostbuster. Of course, the prick from the very first one is going to break balls, and now he's the mayor of New York City, and then Kuala Kunjami here. Sorry, I fucked that name up. He's possessed. He's kind of like, I guess he's trying to be like the Rick Moranis, more updated character, I guess, maybe a little goofy and whatever, but I think he's possessed, and now he can control fire, and of course Bill Murray's there interrogating him because. Who can do it better than Bill Murray? Of course, and the one girl there becomes friends with a ghost. That's always nice. That's nice. And of course, what happens? The demon comes out, and I didn't anticipate this problem. I didn't anticipate filling up the station there with ghosts, and everything just goes nuts. And the ghost is I don't know, he looks like a minotaur, that's very thin, possibly Ozempic, and of course they got to fight him off, and of course it turns into what Toronto was just a few days ago. And that's the one thing I was going to say, ladies and gentlemen. In Toronto, the day it officially came out on the Friday, it did snow in Toronto. I think at least 10 centimeters. It was a crazy day. Even the day before, they're telling people, if you don't have to go out, don't go outside. Stay in, take work off. It is a Friday. Most people are going to do that anyway, So it was kind of eerie that happened. So it's almost like... who knows? It was probably just a coincidence. But the point is, I'll keep it short, because if you're a Ghostbuster fan, you should obviously see it for yourself and see what happens, But I'll just say this: I liked it. Again, I didn't think it was as good as the last one, but it's still good. I'll give you my overall ratings for all the movies. Okay, so the very first one, it's a fucking classic. Okay, one of the best movies of the 80s. I don't think anybody's going to dispute that. It's in my top 5, ladies and gentlemen. Godfather Part 2, Godfather, Goodfellas. You seeing a mob connection there? Okay. There is no mafia, by the way. Pulp Fiction and Ghostbusters. Okay, these are 5 movies I cannot live without. Okay, Ghostbusters will always be one of my favorites. And I easily give it an 8.5. Okay, I think 8 is too low. 9, maybe a little more action, maybe a 9. But again, it was the 80s. It's cool. 8.5. There you go. Ghostbusters 2. Hey. It's 5 years later. They should have cashed in on it a little bit earlier. Even they admitted that. But because of the cartoon being a success, they were like, okay, let's do it again. Why not? It's still a decent movie. I don't think it's as bad as everyone thinks it is. It could have ended way better. I mean, the ending scene, they shoot some slime at a picture. It could have been more creative. But the Statue of Liberty thing with the Nintendo controller, that's awesome. But still, it's okay. I give it a 6.5 out of 10. It's one of those movies where it's on the cusp, 6.5 rating. That girl one, holy shit. My God. It's a 1. It's not number 1. It's 1 out of 10. And ladies and gentlemen, the only reason why I'm giving it a 1 is because someone at the end of the movie yelled out, "Baba Booey!" That's it. I'm a Howard Stern fan, so, there you go. And then Ghostbusters was revived or rebooted or whatever the fuck it is, okay? Ghostbusters Afterlife. Great movie. I loved it. A lot of people said it was too sad. It was, it was too sappy. They, focused more on Egon and, the sadness and blah, blah, blah. Like, that's all I kept fucking hearing. I thought it was awesome. A lot of people say that the ending, especially the last 10, 15 minutes, is one of the best endings to a movie ever. I mean, honestly, if they ended the franchise even with that movie, I would have been happy. But at the same time, I want more. But I thought it was great. I give it a 7.5. I thought it was great. This one, Ghostbusters, Frozen World. I'm sorry, Empire. Okay. Excuse me. What about my empire? Melania. Hottest first lady ever. Obviously her, Barbara Bush, whatever. The point is, ladies, it's the white hair, whatever. The point is, I hope he doesn't start World War III. Great movie, still. I mean, again, not as good as the last one, but still good. I liked it. Okay, so I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. All right, so great effects, good acting, good jokes. I mean, after seeing the new Roadhouse 2024, oh, holy fucking shit, worst movie of the year so far, by far. But yeah, thank God I saw a good movie, so I'm very happy with that. And yeah, I mean, obviously they haven't announced yet if they're gonna make another one. I hope they do. I mean, as Mr. Aykroyd said before, I mean, they got lots of ideas. So I mean, the possibilities are endless, ladies and gentlemen. So and it looks like so far so good. So it says the budget here was $100 million. Okay, sounds about right. Gross in U.S. and Canada is 45 mil, 200,000. Okay. And that's so far the opening weekend. So they had a sneak preview Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Today's Monday. I can still add. That's good. When you get in your 40s, you just want to add and, just drive the Ghostbuster car one time. Fuck, man, I'm telling you, if I hit the lotto, I'm making my own car. It's either that or going to be the Mach 5 from Speed Racer. But the point is, so far so good. And total worldwide gross so far, 61,600,000. So that's in about 4 days. So there you go. It looks pretty good. I don't see why, it still can't do well the next few weekends. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I hope they make more. I really do. And I just wanted to keep this one short. I don't want to make this an hour like the Roadhouse one. Oh, my God. I mean, they CGI'd the fights. I mean, how do you, like, you missed the point completely of the idea of Roadhouse in the 80s and, oh, Christ. But, ladies and gentlemen, there still are good movies out there. And this is one of them. Okay, so if you see this movie, you will have a good time. So, you know. Oh, okay, so I forgot to say, if you go see the movie, you'll see a little bit of the credits. Then there is a scene after that. You know, those delightful little marshmallow men are back, you know, throughout the movie, and maybe they'll surprise you at the end. But if you wait till, you know, the very, very end of the credits, you're gonna see something, you know, like really, nothing happens. There's no scene, you know, there's no Egon with the coin, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay, and what's funny is, like, the theater was pretty packed. And, you know, like, finally, you know, the kids shut up and they keep putting things in front of the fucking light of the projector. I don't know. There's no parental supervision anymore. And, you know, it was just, very few people left in there. And, you know, like, at the end, the lights came on. I was like, no. And then, like, the one couple saw me, you know, and then I go, I thought Rick Moranis would show up. And, you know, he's like, yeah, he retired. I'm like, I know. I know. Sorry. But yeah, no, listen, I was hoping maybe Rick Moranis would show up at the end, and maybe, you know, he would kind of lead into the third one. And I just, like, Rick, we miss you, buddy. You know, listen, you know, nobody has still found out who pushed him in New York. I don't know if you guys ever saw that video that just randomly he was walking down the street and some fucking jerk off just pushed him, and it's on video, but they can't see who it is, and they never caught the guy. If I ever catch that Malaka, I'm telling you, listen. Okay, let's calm down. I was hoping for, you know, Rick Moranis to show up, but he didn't. You know. Closest thing he's done in a few years is that phone commercial he did with Ryan Reynolds, you know. But that's cool. It's cool. I get it, you know. But who knows? Maybe he could show up later on. Who knows? But we shall see. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, I still enjoy going to the movies. And I had a very good time, you know, despite these fucking kids. I still had a very good time at these movies. And, you know, I learned two things today. You know, one... After this experience yesterday, I'm absolutely going to have a vasectomy. And second, I still love going to the movies, you know, and Ghostbusters have always been a huge part of that. And I will always say, let's go to the movies. Part 3, Ghostbusters, Frozen, Empire.
I love making movies. I don't think there's any quite like a real big movie on a real screen. And especially when you make a crowd of people laugh in a movie theater. There's nothing like it. It's the best thing in the world when you make, you know, a couple hundred people laugh, or even just a full room of 100 people laugh. It's great. It's great. And that's kind of why people do theater and kind of why people do comedy. You want to get a response. And if you're trying to scare them, that's fun to scare them, but if you want to make them laugh, and they all laugh, then you feel like you're on top of the world. It's a great feeling.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass,